So throughout this video, there will be a small dog that is moving back and forth over both of our laps and pooping in our laps and peeing in our laps. And this is not of my making. You know who this is, right? So in this video, we're going to have a whole bunch of questions that you guys have sent in to her, and I'm going to go through them all. So let's cover some ground rules first. So she has seen some of these questions. Most of them she has not seen, which is kind of what I want. I want like an extemporaneous answer from you. I've seen some of them, but not most of them. Some of them already she has vetoed because some of you guys were very crude and shitty in your questions. And it's not like you're talking to a guy like me. You're talking to like a little sweetheart. So if your question was not addressed in this video that you sent in, it probably means you were not, you would say respectful, right?
Right.
You were talking like a 14-year-old would talk, a 14-year-old boy would talk to another 14-year-old boy instead of a nice little sweetheart like Miss Firefly. And by the way, if you want the real versions of Black Dragon and Pink Firefly, there's a link below in this video where you can download the comic book, which is free for the NFTs. How are you?
I'm good.
Are you nervous?
No.
You don't look nervous.
No, I'm not nervous.
She loves doing videos like this. She loves to be the center of attention. She loves everyone seeing her.
No, I don't. He's joking.
She doesn't like this at all. What else? What else should we cover before we... Anything you want to say before we start? You don't really give a shit.
No, I don't think so.
Comments in this video, just like the last time she was in a video, any mean comments to her will be deleted. So again, it's not like you're talking to me. The rules are a little different. I don't care if you're mean to me. I don't give a shit. But she did not ask to become an internet celebrity. So I have to like convince her to do shit like this. It's not like she wants to. I have to like, I had to talk to a lot to do this.
Right.
Over a period of like a year. I'm not kidding. So, and she may not do this again. So this is the time. So pay attention. Let's see what else. I think that's it. Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
So the question I put at the top of this list is the question that everyone wants to know.
Okay.
The biggest question. Okay. Thanks for doing this. Do you sleep with other men?
No.
Or how often? He says, how often do you sleep with other men?
So I don't sleep with other men.
So why not? If you don't, why not? And I think what he's asking is, why don't you do that when I do it?
Because I guess I feel like I'm married. I have a husband. I can sleep with him. I don't need to go searching around trying to find some idiot. Sorry, but it's the dating world and whatever.
Shots fired.
The guys are just they're just not that friendly these days. So I'd rather just not go hunting for a man.
Is dating difficult for a woman?
Yes, absolutely. Guys are just so flaky and they don't want to get off their couch these days. And so it's like I'd have to do all the work. And why do work when I already have a husband and I can sleep with him? That's how I feel about it. So
good answer. Going on with this question, if that is the case, now let's be clear. We've been together a long time, going on just 8 years. And in the past, various other things have happened, especially when we weren't as serious. Fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you're talking about a big, long relationship. But again, do you think a woman, I can say your age, right?
Yeah.
Do you think a 42-year-old, she's 42, by the way.
I'm old.
She's 42. This is 42. When it's handled correctly and when the genetics are good and when she takes care of herself, this is 42. So anyway, do you think a 42-year-old woman is like hot to trot to go on Tinder and pick up dudes, go to the bar and pick up dudes? And does that have any appeal for you at all?
No, not really.
Now, if you were 19, different story. Anyway, all right. If that is the case, would it be fair to classify your marriage as polygamy, even if that terminology is not used? You know what he means by polygamy? That means if I had multiple wives. I know my answer. I'll give you my answer.
Yeah, no, but
I don't have multiple wives.
Right. And I wouldn't have married him if he was planning on having multiple wives.
And I don't want multiple wives. Shoot me in the fucking face. 3 wives? Are you kidding me? I don't know why guys think this is a good idea. 3 wives? I don't even have a wife and multiple girlfriends. I don't want that. If I wanted that, I'd have MLTRs, which I did for many years.
Right. So,
cool. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Is there any sort of explicit arrangement between the two of you about each party working out and staying attractive? That's interesting. Did you and I have an explicit agreement about that at any point?
No, we didn't. But the thing is he sleeps with other younger women. So you kind of, or at least I feel like I need to constantly keep up with looking good because basically he's sleeping with the younger women. And I feel like I'm going to be compared to younger women constantly. So, right. And then also he's very blunt. So if I have like a fat roll or something going on, he'll make sure to tell you.
That's not true.
So yeah,
that's bullshit.
But no, there's no agreement. But it kind of feels like it's an underlying agreement.
Let's put what she just said in context. Sometimes wives ask you. They say, "Do I look fat or do I have any fat?" And they want a specific answer. And sometimes, if you give a specific answer, then they turn around and say, "Oh, he said this." Well, you asked me 14 times for an anyway. You don't have any fat. You're skinny. Next question. Oh boy, here we go. This will be a fun one. Caleb has said before that you're religious. Is one of the reasons that you don't have a problem with him banging other women? Now, as soon as you use the word banging, she's going to roll her eyes and she's going to start tuning out. Just be aware of this. But other women is because all the great men in the Bible had multiple wives and concubines. For example, King David was the leader of God's chosen people and he had multiple wives. King Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines, yet God called him a good and wise man. Jay, there you go. There's your question. Enjoy.
So basically he's asking if I agree with it.
Do you agree with this non-monogamy because that's how it was in the Bible?
No, it has nothing to do with the Bible at all. That's literally nothing to do with it.
Let's cover that because guys ask about that. Do you have a religion?
I'm Christian. That's how I was brought up.
And so do you still believe in the Christian basics?
Yes.
Okay. I guess it's it. Okay. Okay. Do you think it's a sin to date a word he's using I can't use on YouTube? I'll call it transgender people. Do you consider a male to female transgender a real woman? I guess what I'm asking is if an alpha male 2.0 were to sleep and fall in love with a transgender, you're using words I can't use on YouTube, dude. Would you consider him gay and would he go to hell for that? I can tell you for a fact she's not giving thought to any of this stuff, but go ahead.
Well, basically what I was brought up in the Bible, they basically say,
oh God, here we go.
If you're like gay, transgender, or whatever, you're not going to heaven because it's against what the Bible is saying. So would he go to hell? Technically, from what I learned,
go to hell? He's asking, would I go to hell if I had sex with a transgender male to female?
Oh, just have sex? No. I mean, you would just have to ask forgiveness, I guess.
Oh, he said sleep with and fall in love with. If I fell in love with someone, I go to hell?
No.
All right, there you go.
I think it's if you are like trying to be gay or transgender, you're not going to heaven. That's what I taught. But if you're just going to marry somebody, then I don't know. I guess I don't think you're going to go to hell. But I think you have.
Okay, got it. You answered the question. All right.
Yeah. Did that answer the question?
Kind of. Fucked up questions get fucked up answers, bro. All right. Here's another religious one, probably the same guy. Do you actually believe all the crazy stuff in the Bible occurred? For example, Jesus beaming down extra fishes and loaves of bread into his hands like what happens in Star Trek. He's quoting me because I've said that before. Or talking snakes, or that the world is only 1,000 years old.
Yes. Again, I was brought up Christian and to read the Bible and everything. So I believe that, unlike Caleb, I actually believe that this all happened. I mean, that's what I was brought up. So, and that the Bible is sacred. So I do believe it. I think it's unfortunate for people who don't believe it, honestly. Like Caleb, it's really sad.
So you can marry someone and be with someone who has the opposite religious beliefs as you. However, we have a rule we established a few years ago. You and I don't talk about religion.
Yeah, because we get into arguments because he thinks he's right and I don't think he's right.
Because I am right. I believe in facts. And just kidding. So
see what I mean?
See, one of us gets really upset. So we figured out 4 years ago, we're like, let's just not talk about religion.
Right.
Some of you guys might have to do a thing where you don't talk about politics because sometimes politics can be a thing. Although a lot of couples usually have the same political shit. But anyway, so that you can actually have a serious relationship with someone who has the opposite religious beliefs, the opposite political beliefs. You're just strategic about it and you love each other for the other aspects and you don't bring it up. Because we don't even talk. We haven't talked about religion in a long time.
No.
We learned. Yeah, we learned the hard way. Someone gets a little worked up.
No, and then someone
Caleb starts quoting facts.
And then Caleb like starts ignoring me and not even listening because he's like, I don't even need to listen. I'm correct. But so it's kind of hard to have a conversation when he's not even listening. So
correct. That's right. Exactly.
Yeah. So
was there ever okay? You heard this question already. Was there ever a situation where you found out a female friend of yours was having a secret sexual relationship with the same guy you were also seeing? If so, how did it make you feel when you found out?
Yes, that's happened to me. It was a close friend. So
very close friend.
Yeah. So
this is before me. This is a long time ago, right? This is nothing to do with me. This is way before me.
Yeah. So what did they? So they're asking.
Have you ever that situation? Yes. How did it make you feel when you found out? If not, how do you think women usually cope when they find out?
I was not happy when I found out. I found out from a third party. Another friend.
Oh, you did?
So it's not like the friend said, I'm really sorry. I want to tell you what happened. I found it from another friend. So that was fun. So yeah, I was very upset. And my trust in that friend and the guy just completely disappeared. So it's hard. I mean, it's basically, I don't trust that friend anymore. And that guy is long gone. So that's there's nothing you can do about coping. I think you just have to realize if you want to continue to be friends with that person, to be honest, because I think you can just meet other guys. You can say bye to that guy, but that's your close friend. So you have to kind of decide if you want to continue a friendship or not. So
monogamy doesn't work. I love you.
Well, the story is, though, that we had a threesome with him. So I guess she felt like she could just kind of go in and...
You had a threesome? Are you going to hell now that you had a threesome?
Probably.
Probably? God damn. Oh, my God. You're not. Where does it say in the Bible you go to hell if you have a threesome?
I think that's considered a sin.
What?
Having sex with...
Thou shalt not fuck two women at the same time.
Well, I was having sex before I was married. That's a sin. So, yes.
Well, then aren't we all going to hell?
No, not if you ask forgiveness.
So I can just ask
and actually try to be better. You don't just keep doing it and saying sorry because you're not sorry. You actually have to be sorry and change your ways.
No, I wouldn't do that.
So,
right. I'm married now. So all the sex I have now is post-marital sex.
Yeah.
This is why we don't discuss religion. All right, next question. When Caleb said you were hot, I didn't fully believe him. Why not? I don't lie to you. And thought he was exaggerating, but now that I've seen you, yes, you're hot. What would you recommend to other men who want to get a girlfriend who looks like you? These questions really throw her. Because she doesn't think she's hot. Go ahead.
I just say be yourself, be confident, but be yourself. If you try to be somebody you're completely not, then that's not going to work. Because I'd be like, what's wrong with this?
Shouldn't a guy pretend to be confident if he's not? Wouldn't that help?
Well, but you still want to be yourself at the same time.
What if yourself isn't confident? Most guys out there are not confident.
You just put a little confidence in, that's all. But you don't want to be overly confident and cocky either.
No.
Because I would run for the hills. That's not, there's a happy medium. But yeah, I just would say, though, you got to partially be yourself. If you're someone you're not, then they're going to realize who you are. Once they get to know you, be like, was this a fake person that I had met originally? Where's that person? You got to be partially.
I agree. You should be radically different than yourself.
Right.
I agree with that.
But you got to have a little confidence, I think.
So a little confidence.
And ask questions. Don't just talk about yourself. All these dates that you go on and all these guys just talk about themselves and we're like bored and like looking at our watch.
I said thousands of times.
Like, is this date over yet? Because this is,
on the nose on that
Or
one.
if you complain the whole entire time on the date, kiss that girl goodbye. Do not be negative and complain about the restaurant that she picked or whatever. I mean, it's just.
Don't go to the restaurant she picks.
Or,
Alias.
oh, you're a blonde. I really like brunettes. Then why are you on a date with a blonde? So you got to
Isn't that hilarious?
you got to think about the things that you say before you say them, to be honest.
How many men, was that just one guy? How many men have you been on dates with where they complained you had blonde hair, even though they saw on your online dating profile you had blonde hair? Was that just one guy?
It was only one guy, but then others complained, well, your hair's too long. And it's like, but you saw my hair to begin with.
They saw your picture.
So it's always some complaint. So just watch that, because it doesn't go very far if you do that. But be yourself, be a little confident, but stay away from the negatives and don't talk too much.
So what I tell guys on first dates is don't talk very much unless it's a question. Do you agree based on what you just said?
Yeah, just ask lots of questions and act like you're interested. If you're going to ask her stuff and you're bored and you look bored, then it's pointless what you're doing. So you got to at least somewhat be interested. Or just cut the date short and move on. Because if you're really not that interested, don't bother. Because then you're wasting both of your times.
Agree with that. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about who suggested couples counseling first and why? And what you looked for when seeking a couples therapist? And what in particular has made couples counseling attractive for you? So that's 3 questions. So let's start with the first one. Who suggested couples counseling first?
Caleb suggested it.
I demanded it. I said, we're going. Yeah. And why? Why? Well, I demanded it.
Why did you suggest it?
Because I didn't want to wait until a problem became big in our relationship where it became too late. In my first marriage, we waited, and this is what most married couples do. They wait for the problems to be gigantic and you fucking hate each other, and then they go to counseling, and then it's too late. So I wanted to make sure that before any problem got too big, we had that third party to help us resolve that problem to keep the problem small.
And then I agreed. I said, "Oh yeah, I'll do it." I agree that it's not going to.
It was weird.
It's not going to hurt anything to try it. You know what I mean?
Did you? When I first suggested that, did you find that a weird request? You're like,
at first I was like, "Why? There is no problem," because I wasn't used to why would you go unless we had a problem? But I thought, okay, well.
Have you ever been at any couples counseling in your life before me?
Never.
Never asked that. I didn't think so.
No,
okay.
never.
Interesting. All right. Why? What did you look for What you looked for when seeking a couples therapist? You answer that.
Well, I looked for a woman. I actually wanted a female because I feel like they'd be a little more understanding. But I could be totally wrong.
I don't care.
It's just my own opinion. I don't know. I just felt more comfortable with a female. So that's what I was looking for. And then someone who...
What about a big guy who looked like Jack Reacher?
Well, then I wouldn't get a lot of counseling done. I'd just be staring and like, wow.
She likes Jack Reacher. We just watched that show.
She's really good looking.
She likes big men. She has a type, big guys.
Yeah, the show was kind of boring, but I was like, I'll just keep watching it because it was...
As soon as you saw his bicep, you're like,
I was like,
oh.
Sure, let's watch this.
Yeah, let's watch this now.
But I was also looking for a counselor who, has kind of had the empathetic card, who could kind of be empathetic.
Someone who's kind of motherly. Isn't that kind of what you were looking for initially, or no?
Not motherly, but someone who could be empathetic to the situation. Because some counselors are like, they're not very empathetic, and they're kind of just like a robot. I kind of wanted someone a little more empathetic.
And what in particular has made couples counseling effective for you?
Stuff we didn't know that we originally had a problem with communication. We're like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, we realized we did have a problem figuring out how to communicate because we were so different. I think counseling has actually helped us, even when, the counselor will point out things like, oh, we didn't realize that. She'll get good ideas, things we didn't, think about. So it's been good either, on both sides. Mm-hmm. Even to the point where, I became so comfortable with her, I see her by myself. We do kind of like a one-on-one. Yeah. So it's helped a lot. I mean, she's good at giving other perspectives, things that we don't see, which is awesome. Now,
to put that in context, we have a really good therapist. We had to go through.
Yeah.
We had a nightmare finding people. Was there 3 times we tried to interview people and they flaked on us, or they were weird? 3 times, I think, 2 or 3.
Yeah, one would set an appointment. She literally didn't show up to her own appointment. Or something.
And then we had an appointment with someone, but you didn't like her. We didn't like her. I remember that. Didn't we?
I don't remember that.
Okay, that was when she said, "You're the introvert." That woman. I forget. And then we had another problem. Then we found someone, and we worked with someone for about, how long were we working? About a year?
Or 6 months.
No, I think it was longer. Well, okay, maybe it was less than a year. And she was okay, but she wasn't good. So we finally found the one we're working with now, and she's amazing. So it's helped us a lot. But we have a really good therapist. So rule of 3, you may have to go through 3 people to find someone.
It can take a while to find one that fits like your personality and understands you, and that you feel you're comfortable with. It may take you and that's okay. You could sit through a couple sessions, and if you're not comfortable, move on to somebody else, because for obvious reasons you want to be comfortable, because you're going to be talking about your personal life. So
most men are going to be scared that the female therapist is going to take the wife's side. I just don't ever get that in the comments.
Yeah. Well,
it's happened once or twice.
Oh, darn.
But outcome independence, you shouldn't care. The next question is just, she's adorable.
Thanks. Whoever you are, thank you.
You're adorbs. Did you create the pink Firefly character in the comic book for the NFTs? Did you write the character's dialogue or story arc?
Well, pink Firefly in itself, I thought of that because my favorite color is pink, and I like fireflies, so that's how we kind of originated my name. But then, obviously, you kind of have an idea in mind what a firefly looks like.
You came up with the image of like a pink Tinkerbell. You came up with that.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Pink Firefly, she came up with the name a long time ago. And then you came up with like that avatar for the blog. Right. Where it was like a pink sexy Tinkerbell. Yeah. You came up with all that stuff.
Yeah, I did. And then we just explained that to kind of his daughter, the ideas that we had on it. And then she drew it, and then we would like approve it. So it was.
Yeah. Alyssa came up with like 3 or 4 different versions and 3 or 4 different outfits. And you said like, oh, I like that dress, but those boots and that hair.
Right.
And it was.
We kind of wanted it to be kind of similar to me, with the long hair, that kind of thing. So have some resemblance, not fully.
A comic book version of her.
Yeah.
Right. An exaggerated version. And of course, the comic book Black Dragon looks just like me. I'm very buff and lean and just like him. Jesus Christ, this is a long question. I might have to summarize this. PF, by now you're pretty familiar with Caleb's theory on how women become a huge pain in the ass for men to deal with or try dating and have sex with once they turn about 33, 35. They see themselves as respectable, most develop ridiculous standards. They want to have lots of meets or dinner dates and their ASD has skyrocketed. I'm sure Caleb has explained what ASD is. As you were once 33 to 35, do you agree with Caleb's theory for men aged about 35 or over and wanting to date and have sex with women aged 33 and over? What is your dating advice to these men and also to these women? He has another question, but you understand the question?
I think so. Do I agree with the ASD thing?
No. What is your advice for men who are over 33, who want to date women who are over 33, but don't like that women over 33, like you were, are a little resistant, hesitant about having sex quickly?
Well, I mean, it's just, I don't agree with his.
No, you do agree.
So, no, I don't.
Women who are over 33 are not going to jump into bed as fast as women.
I don't agree at all.
We're not talking about you. We're talking about women in general.
I don't agree.
So 19-year-old girls will jump into bed, and a 38-year-old woman will jump into bed just as fast as a 19-year-old girl.
Yeah, a lot of women do.
No. We've discussed. What? No, you don't think that. No.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
19-year-olds.
I shouldn't be talking.
19-year-old girls are idiots, so they're just being stupid. We actually have become smarter. And obviously, as you get older, you want to look for a long-term partner. So we're not just trying to go fuck and then.
So you're explaining why. He's saying, what is it? What do you have any advice for men who are dating women who are over 33 who have to wait longer for sex?
I would just say, welcome to the real world. I mean, I don't think that's too much to ask. Take a girl out for coffee or dinner. It's not a big deal.
She's got strong opinions about this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't really feel bad for you. I mean, if you like the girl, show it. Take her out for a coffee. It doesn't have to be like a 5-star dinner or something, but like, I mean, the guys are so lazy these days. If you take her out, trust me, you will be ahead of the pack. So I say, if you like the girl, show her. I mean, it does take a little effort, but I don't think it'll kill you. I mean, you don't have to take her out to the fanciest dinner or anything like that. A coffee or something like that. So my point is that I don't understand what the problem is.
Exactly. Yeah, what's the problem, guy?
Like,
what's the problem? If she wants to have sex.
If you take her to dinner, you're going to get sex, you know? So, I mean, put a little effort in.
On the first date?
Sometimes, yeah, I've done it.
Post 33?
Yes, I've done it.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about women in general. I'm not talking about isolated exceptions to the rule either. He's talking about women in general. Women in general, over 33, are not going to fuck you on the first date, right? Is that true?
Well, if you want to fuck on the first date, maybe you should date younger girls then. Bingo. Because, I mean, we're looking for a relationship. We're not going to go just jump in bed and then because I've had that. I've jumped in bed and then they just disappear. And it sucks. So we have to learn the hard way for guys that just disappear after one day. They're like, I got to fuck her now, moving on. Woo-hoo. So we get kind of tired of that. So to be honest,
everything she's saying is accurate. This is where she's... I
mean, so what are we supposed to do? Just keep hoping we jump in bed with you and you're not going to disappear? So we have to wait a little longer.
Listen carefully.
We have to wait a little longer. So maybe show us. Because this is a pattern for guys that needs to be somehow fixed.
Some guys, yes.
A lot of guys that I've dated.
Yeah, but that's a whole different topic. We'll change topics. All right.
But isn't that the truth, though? Like, if you're going to fuck somebody and then leave them after you fuck them, then what are we supposed to do?
Most guys are not going to do that, but there's a type of guy you were seeing for a while.
No, there's a bunch of different guys. They say they're looking for something and then they disappear after you sleep with them.
You're talking about one or two specific
No, I'm not.
You're not talking about a wide array.
I've dated tons of different types of guys, and that's what I've experienced.
Let's not go.
Okay, they'll fuck you like twice and then they'll disappear. Right. Sorry. But like,
most men will get one-itis and fall in love with you, but that's... Yeah.
I've never had that kind of guy, though, except for once.
You haven't dated a lot. You've had boyfriends most of your life. You're in a unique scenario. You are. But anyway, let's move on. Did a huge thing.
But I've dated a lot, and no guy has gotten one-itis.
There was a phase of your life where, yes.
No.
A brief phase. Yes.
No guy's gone. When I was in the dating world, no guy has got one-itis. They're just off dating many women.
I know. You did, yeah, I know.
You ask questions, but then you don't want to hear the answer.
I didn't ask the question, he did.
I know, but you don't want to hear the answer.
Well,
I'm sorry that you don't like the answer. See, he likes to ask me questions.
I didn't ask the question.
And then he doesn't like the answer, so he'll just ignore me.
I already know the answers to all these questions.
So my point is,
he has more questions. You ready?
I know, but you gotta not interrupt. I'm trying to answer.
That's true. I need to keep my mouth shut.
So
I need to let you answer, and then I can give my.
He doesn't like my answers.
No, I love your answers. I think they're perfect.
Yeah.
This is the same guy, same question, okay?
Okay.
Do you agree with Caleb that these men should try dating younger women instead?
Right. If you have such a huge problem, which I think is kind of odd in my opinion, because I feel like if you want a younger woman, then that's not going to be long term. So are you just not? Are they looking for a long term relationship or
he doesn't
just
specify?
So if you're looking for a long term relationship, that's not going to get you anywhere. So if you just put in a little effort,
I kind of agree with that. Yeah.
Then stick with the older girls. But if you just want to have sex and move on, then I guess I would say go younger. You know.
You're very honest. It's very good.
Well, I mean, but that's the truth. Yeah. Girls that young are just dumb. I mean, I was dumb that age. You just jump in bed and off.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I'm saying I even was an idiot.
Younger girls are dumb. I've never heard that from older women before.
So they are. I mean, I was an idiot. So if you just want some dumb girl, go ahead. Because they are. They're just dumb. I mean, I'm admitting I was an idiot. So.
I was a genius when I was 19. Just kidding.
Yeah.
The same guy. Also, with age 33 and over, women becoming so difficult. What? With playing games with age 33 and over men by stringing them along and being annoyingly vague about committing to meet up. That's wrong. That's incorrect. I've never experienced that.
I've never heard of that either.
That's incorrect. I did a lot of women over 33. I've never had that problem.
Yeah.
The issue is they're not going to jump into bed on date 1 or date 2 with rare exception. That's the issue. It's not. I've never had a problem stringing you along or committing to move it. No. So you're wrong about that. Sorry.
Take him to a really nice dinner and give him lots of alcohol, and you have a good chance.
Right. And I said that if you
get him drunk
6, 7, 8 hours on that first date with a lot of alcohol, then your odds go up.
Not 8 hours.
I didn't say 8. 6, 5.
Oh, and
6.
add some dessert in there too.
You're so full of shit. Oh my God. All right. Yeah. Feed her cake and she'll give you all the pussy you want.
Alcohol does help though.
Of course it helps. Then there's an illegality thing.
Like you go have a nice dinner and drink a lot, and then you
spend 6 hours
and then
with
you
her.
Go to another bar and keep drinking. There you go.
Long first dates can work. Do you want to spend 5, 6 hours Women
No,
never
but I'm
fuck
just
before.
saying, like, some guys enjoy. They want to take me to 3 different places, and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm telling you, a lot of guys do
Well,
like
you're cool
to.
about that. You don't want to
Yeah, I'm
fancy
like,
dinner for first date.
No,
You're
they
cool
want to
about it.
take me. Let's do a nightcap. Let's go somewhere else. I'm like, no,
You know
I'm
what they
good.
want. Next question. You said before you love Caleb more now than before. Can you explain why? Is
Just
that too personal?
Just because I've been with them longer. I mean, it takes me a long time to basically warm up to somebody
That's
and
true.
like fall in love with somebody and all of
You and I
that.
have that in common.
So it took a really long time. And even a long time, I still wasn't like fully in. I have this fear of getting hurt or he's going to leave me or whatever. So I don't know. I have kind of one foot out the door and it takes me a really long time to like be fully there. So, and then once I'm there, I'm like fully in. Like more in than a lot of people are because of my personality.
That's true.
So, but it just took a while, but now I'm fully in. That's how I am. So I don't know. What
And
else.
would you say every woman's different about that? Some women move faster, some women move slower.
Oh yeah, some like some guys, they fall in love quick, and others take a long time. It's the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I can verify everything she just said. She took a while, and that's good. That's how you and I were compatible, because I take a while. That's how you and I worked.
Right, but you even beat me to the punch. I take a lot longer than even normal.
You mean to the L word, to love? Well,
Yeah.
you had feelings. You weren't 100% all in.
Right. You were
Well,
more
I wasn't
in,
all in until we moved in with each other.
right, but
And
you
that was a year
weren't
and a half
all
later.
in. I still took longer than you though,
No, I was the one who.
because he said be with me, and I still was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to be with you.
But remember how long it took for us to move in together? Like a year and a half.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm talking. I put that as part of having one foot in, one foot out. We're just
When he
defining it
says
differently.
be with me, and I was like, no, I'm just not there.
Yeah, that's true. That's accurate.
So.
Right. Have you and Caleb ever had a threesome with another woman? If you haven't, would you?
We actually never had a threesome because I'm not into threesomes really. I did all that in my early 20s. Like I went crazy. So I did all that. It's just not my thing. I'd rather watch. So I wouldn't say we have threesomes, but there's 3 of us in the room, but I am not like involved in it. I just watch. So.
And sometimes after the watching, there's activity.
Not with the other girl. The other girl
not
goes.
The other girl.
The other girl goes home.
She goes home and then.
But that's not a threesome.
Yeah, it's not.
And they asked if I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not, because I've already done that. I enjoy what I enjoy. Like, no. See,
Well, not a threesome. My version of a threesome. So here's. Oh, are you done answering?
But that's not a threesome.
Yes, you're right. Women have told me this. That Kayla, that's not a threesome. Yeah.
So he doesn't want to do a threesome based on the term threesome.
I don't. That's another way in which we're compatible. I think threesomes are kind of a pain in the ass. I'm not into them at all. I've done them. Done a lot.
Because it's too much work for him.
It's too much work. And my brain shuts off during sex. I don't think, okay, put your leg here, put your ass here. Okay, I can't think like that when I'm in the middle of it. But what I do like is taking turns.
Which
you sit over there. I'm going to take care of this one.
Which is a little weird.
Okay, we finished, and then we go to this one. Ooh.
Yeah, see, I'm not into that. I'll just watch him and another girl. I don't really want another girl watching us.
No, I didn't say that.
But
No.
she would, because she'd be in the room.
No, she could leave. No,
Oh my God. The thing is, I've been there, done that.
Go home, sweetheart. I got to take care of
I've already done that. I'm enjoying the watching of him. Yes. Hey, he should be happy about that. He gets to go and...
I am more than happy. Trust me.
Just give me a glass of wine and
I know.
I'm good to go.
Okay. Next question. Ooh, this is a challenging question. Someone's trying to kick my ass. Would you still be with Caleb if he only made $75K a year? What about 40 or 50K?
What?
Yeah. I'm sure guys will ask that. If I made $75,000 a year, would you still be with me? Be honest.
Yes, I'd still be with him because I love him. I can't help who I love and fall in love with.
What if I only made 40 or 50K?
I was in love with someone that was unemployed. So, I mean.
Was he unemployed? He worked at a tire place. No,
that was before him.
Oh, yeah. So
I can't help who I fall in love with. You know, it's unfortunate they didn't have a job, but like my mom used to say, she's like, if I found a guy and he was a gas attendant, I would still love him just the same. You know, it shouldn't matter. Unfortunately, nowadays, girls say it does matter, but it really, in the long run, shouldn't. It's who you fall in love with. You should love them, not for their money.
Is it any factor at all? If you meet let's say, take me out of the equation. You meet a new guy. You meet two guys. They're both great, but one guy makes $500,000 a year. The other guy makes $40,000 a year. Isn't it a factor?
I mean, if you like them the same and you had to pick, well,
Yes.
I mean,
Then yeah.
I'd probably pick the one that, you know.
But I can verify what she's saying about not caring about how much money I make because I'm aware of some of her exes. She had some exes. You had some exes that were making shit.
Right.
Including recent ones. Recent in your terms of your history. Yeah. So I can verify what she's saying. Right.
I know I'm not normal, though. A lot of girls would disagree with me. So
sure.
If you want my personal advice, that's what I say.
Sure.
But if you ask other women, they would probably have a different answer.
Or they would say what you're saying, but they're lying.
You know, or I think it has to do a lot with how you were brought up, though. I was brought up with, you know, you fall in love with who you fall in love with. Not a lot of women are brought up, girls are brought up. You need to find a rich guy that takes care of you. So I think it has a lot to do with how you're brought up, too.
That's accurate. I didn't think of that. That's true. Yeah. That's actually very true. Okay. If it were completely up to you, how often would you and Caleb have sex? I assume Caleb wants it more often than you do.
No, that's not true, actually. The thing is, he has sex on the side. And so when he goes and fucks his FB, I'm not going to go sleep with him right after. And if I want to have sex that day, then I go without. So trust me. There's that. So no, there's days Well,
tell them your rule about that. If I was with someone that day, you're not going to be with me that day.
Yeah, if he goes and fucks an FB and then he comes home, I'm not going to be like, okay, let's go fuck. Like, I'm sorry, but I think that's gross. He just had sex with somebody else and
Take a shower.
I don't know. I feel gross. So I don't sleep with him that day. So no, I feel like there's days that I like want to have sex and he's off working and busy and because work comes first is what he says. So I don't agree that he wants to have sex more. That's not always the case at all. And if I had my way, I do get my way. We have sex like generally as a normal, like every other day, which is what I like. So.
You want a high sex drive wife. It solves so many problems. What a difference between this marriage and my first marriage. Oh my God, it's great. Yeah. Now, let's cover a few things related to that. Is it true that you want sex more often today than you did like 4 or 5 years ago with me? Because of how you feel now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because I'm more in love with them now, which is, I know it sounds weird, but I am.
It's not weird.
And so I want to be with them, have sex with them more often.
So in our marriage, unlike most marriages, and we've already passed the 3-year mark, we are actually more attracted to each other sexually than before when we were dating. Most people who have been together as long as we have, and tell me if you disagree, who've been together going into 8 years, been married for 3.5, 4 years, are less attracted than they were when they were dating. We are more attracted to each other than when we were dating. Agree or disagree?
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
But like,
kind of neat.
We've been together long enough, I feel more comfortable telling him like, hey, we should try this, or, you know, so like I feel, you know, that helps too. In my regard, in just for me, I know a lot of people are like, why does it take you that long? But for me, it takes a while to become comfortable. And so, yeah, that too.
We have a good marriage. We have a good relationship. It's better than I thought it would be. I've told you that. It is.
That's good.
It's better than I thought. I thought it'd be pretty good. This is better than I thought it would be. It's awesome. Okay. Is Pink Firefly your real name or nickname? Really, dude? Really?
Yeah, that's not my real name.
That's her real name.
My mom didn't pop me off.
Let's name her Pink Firefly.
She didn't give birth and be like, Pink Firefly. Yeah, right.
How did you get that name? We kind of talked about it already.
Obviously, I don't want to give my real name out because I don't want to be stalked. I've already had that experience. So.
Her name is Melanie McGillicuddy.
So, yeah, I think we talked about my favorite color is pink and I like fireflies.
Well, let's tell them the story. So I sat down with her one day. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is my memory. It's a long time ago. I sat down one day and said, okay, I'm Black Dragon. You need to have a name, an internet name when I talk about you. So we need to come up with something. So you're like, oh no, I have no. I'm like, I don't know. I don't fucking.
It took us a while.
We wrote down all these ideas. We brainstormed. We had a pad, a piece of paper. Remember this? We wrote all these fucking ideas.
No, and then we were like running errands one day, and we were looking at like billboards. I'm like, seeing words on like how we could make it work.
Right.
And then I was like,
and it didn't work. And then one day you just went to me and said, pink Firefly. Where'd that come from? That's perfect. The fuck?
Right.
We busted our ass. It just came to you one day.
Yeah. It took a while.
Yeah. That's where it came from. Yeah. How did you react when Caleb asked you to sign a prenuptial agreement and keep all financial matters separate?
At first, I was just like, oh, wow. Okay. You know, it's always kind of like almost like a shock at first, you know, when someone says it, even though it's like, you just kind of like, oh, okay.
I'm shocked. How dare you?
You didn't react. I didn't do that. It's just kind of like you sit there for a minute because, you know, it's just this.
Do you remember when I first asked you? Because I don't. Because it was before the big talk we had.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, okay. All right.
But then I just was like, okay, well, I understand.
This is the answer you want to hear. All right, that sucks, but I understand. That's the answer. If you're evaluating a woman to settle down with and you bring these topics up, non-monogamy and prenuptial stuff or whatever, the answer you want to hear is what she just said. I don't like it, but I understand.
Because
That's the girl for you.
Right. I'm not in it for just the money, right? So then right.
Now if she goes, oh, I can't believe you would, but that's not the woman for you. That's not someone you settled down with. Maybe you could date her.
Well, what goes through a woman's mind, I think, or at least mine, is like, well, but I'm not going to try to take your money if we get a divorce, though, is what, you know, kind of goes through your mind.
Right.
Though. Do you really think you should know me enough that I wouldn't do that? Is what kind of crossed my mind, though. Like,
I see.
Does he really think I'm going to try to, you know, that's what is the hard part about it. You have to kind of see past that.
That's an interesting perspective. I didn't know that.
Right.
That's interesting. Okay. Does it bother you that Caleb doesn't share in your religious beliefs? If not, why not? That's an interesting question based on what you're talking about.
I don't like it at all, actually.
You don't?
Yeah, I really don't. Like, I was kind of like always thought in my head I'd find somebody that, you know, would believe what I would believe.
What? Man. I was raised Catholic.
Yeah,
I went to church more than you have.
But I'm not Catholic. That's way different than Christian. It really is.
What if I was Catholic instead of agnostic, which is I'm nothing? What if I was Catholic? Would that be a little less bad?
Yeah, that would be less bad.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, so I don't like it. And it does bother me sometimes when he says certain things that...
What do I never say anything blunt or rude, ever.
That,
what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, go ahead.
So yeah, it does bother me, but...
Was it one of the factors you considered when you were thinking about settling down with me or not? Did you go, nice guy, but he's not Christian?
Yeah, it did definitely cross my mind. Like, really? Oh no, this isn't good. This isn't what my long-term type of plan was, to be with someone that literally did not share my beliefs. So I was kind of going back and forth in my head because it was like, I don't know.
So it bothers you, but not a horrible amount.
It does, but
does it still bother you?
But we don't really talk about it.
Right, that's the key. We don't talk about it. Well, we did last night. We had a brief thing last night about hell. Remember that?
Yeah.
All right. Of all of Caleb's FBs you've met, did you have a favorite?
Yeah.
Who's your? Give me the first letter of her name.
I can't say her name because she's not going to.
The first letter.
J.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so I had a favorite.
Right, yeah.
I watched them and several different times, and so she was really.
And you didn't feel threatened by her?
No, she's really sweet and like genuine and not. It just.
She's probably my favorite of the ones you've met.
Yeah.
She's probably my favorite too. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So if I ended up with this one FB person, if it was someone like her, that'd be ideal for you, or not ideal, but that'd be acceptable.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. How do I make my girlfriend have an abortion? Let's see where this goes, and otherwise we'll cancel this shit. Okay, so my parents are hardcore Catholics, and they're always on my back about Jesus. They told me that if I ever get a girl pregnant and allow her to have an abortion, then my soul would go to hell. No matter what, they would give up on me. I figure if they gave up on my soul, they will finally lay off me. So I asked my girlfriend to let me nut in her without a All right, we're moving on. Moving on. Stupid. Unless you want to address that. I think that's a troll question.
So what's the question?
You really want to...
The original question, the beginning? How do I make my girlfriend
make my girlfriend have an abortion?
Well, as you know, you can't make anyone do anything. So you can't make
Alpha male 2.0
a girl have an abortion. So if she doesn't want one, she's not going to have it. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to take responsibility for being a dad. You can't make somebody. You could certainly sit down and, try to discuss, hey, what your opinions are and your thoughts on it, and try to discuss it back and forth. But I'm sorry, but you can't make somebody have an abortion.
Have an abortion, goddammit!
So I'm not sure how.
I couldn't make you have an abortion.
No.
What if you get pregnant? What are we gonna do?
What's not gonna happen?
What if you could have a baby? You're 42. You're still fertile.
Well,
That'd be terrifying. You said, I'm pregnant. Oh, I don't even know what I would do. Like, let's go to the abortion clinic. No, I wouldn't say that. That's a sin, right? Okay, I lost my place because this question is huge. All right.
No, I feel like it's your body. If you know.
So Miss Firefly has.
You can get an abortion if it's not. You don't wait too long. If it's not like couple months in where it's like forming a baby, but if you find out soon and you're like, shoot, I think you can get an abortion. I think if you're like a young girl, 15, you made
You're
a
gonna
mistake.
Piss off all the Trump supporters saying this shit.
I know, but I feel like if you're a young girl and you got pregnant, you should probably not have the baby. But
piss off all the Christians. Your fellow Christians are not gonna like this.
Yeah, I know. I agree. They're going to be very mad that I said that.
Yeah, so Miss Firefly has some right-wing political views and left-wing political views. She is not a right-winger or a left-winger. She's neither. She has bits and pieces from both. So don't assume, based on what she said, she's a left-winger. She's not. You think weed should be illegal, period, across the board, right?
Illegal?
Illegal.
Yeah, illegal. I agree. Definitely.
So that's a hard right-wing position. But then she's like, abortion is fine. That's a left-wing position. She's all.
It's your body. You can't. And if you're going to bring another,
then why can't I smoke weed if I want to smoke weed? See, so she has different.
Because that affects other people.
Oh.
I mean, it's your body. You can do what you want. But if you're out smoking and like causing all this shit because you're smoking,
what if it was legal to smoke in the privacy of your? I don't smoke weed. I don't do drugs. You guys know that. What if it was legal to smoke weed in the privacy?
I just don't agree with doing drugs.
We're both very anti-drugs. So we have that in common too.
Sorry, I know there's a lot
We're both nerds.
There's a lot of weed smokers out there, so I'm sorry.
You
probably
all
don't.
You now too.
They probably don't like me now.
You pissed off all the left-wingers. You pissed off all the right-wingers. Now everybody hates you. Welcome to the club of everybody hating you. That's what being a libertarian is. But you're not.
Most people do like weed, so I don't think your viewers are going to be like, I don't like her anymore.
Yeah, no shit. By the way, she is not a libertarian like me. She's not.
No.
She thinks big government is fucking great. So we don't agree on that either. But unlike politics, she doesn't get mad if we have a political disagreement. Well, wait a minute. You've gotten a little agitated once or twice. But she's not going to get upset like she will with religion. If I talk about Jesus or God, but if I talk about, foreign policy or gun control, you shouldn't give a shit. Since you're completely financially dependent on Caleb at this point, how do you know that? You don't know that. I never said that. She has income. That's not true. Well, I'm not going to talk about what's true, but I never said that. But anyway, going on the question. Doesn't that make you nervous considering prenuptial paperwork and such? You understand the question?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I am.
Is it something you even think about?
I am working.
Yeah, she has income.
So that definitely, are you kidding me? That crosses my mind all the time. Yeah.
In case I divorce you.
Because I was brought up, don't rely on a man. Because my mom has been married quite a few times and they leave. And then what do you do, right?
I agree with that.
So yeah, it literally scares me badly. And
your biggest fear is that you and I don't work out.
Yes.
In your life, that's the biggest fear in life.
Yeah.
And probably that's a component of that fear.
Right.
Although most of that fear is emotional, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am kind of taking a chance for me because
she has to
big.
Trust. She has to trust.
That's pretty big.
You have to trust me, right?
Right. Yeah.
And it gives you motivation to make sure this relationship, this marriage works.
Right.
Which is the opposite of the marriage I had before her. I was married to someone who didn't give a fuck if the marriage worked or not because she could take half my shit. So she had no incentive. I'm not saying you're like this, but I'm just giving you a contrast. She had no incentive, none, to really make the marriage work. Like, oh, if it doesn't work, I'll fuck him. That's the difference. Anyway.
But I do think it's important for a woman to have something on the side, even if it's something small.
Completely agree.
You know.
I'm glad you have income.
Yeah.
I would be a little nervous if you didn't. It'd be okay, but that's where I'm with you. Yeah. Seriously, Pink Firefly, thank you so much for doing this interview. As a woman in a relationship, this is from a woman. As a woman in a relationship model that's very similar to yours, it's awesome to hear your point of view on things. This is very long, so I'm going to break this up. I know this video is supposed to be for men to ask questions. I found Black Dragon. I'm skipping to your question because you're a girl, so you're a little long-winded. Looking at the sources. Okay, you're very complimentary to me. Thank you. Fortunately, I'm not able to. My question for you, Pink Firefly, did you have difficulty when things got serious with talking about your relationship issues with your friends? Did your close friends know about the non-monogamous aspects of the relationship? I would keep, well, go ahead, I'll pause, go ahead.
Okay.
Can we repeat that?
So
at the beginning.
The non-monogamy thing, basically I didn't tell anybody except like.
Told one person.
My mom knows and my sister know because, well, they found it online, his blogs and all that. So I didn't have a choice. I wasn't going to tell them. But I didn't tell any of my friends because I know how they are and I know how people are these days. And they'd be like, what the fuck? Well, actually, let me take that out. I did tell one person. And I learned from that person why I don't tell people.
Like, oh.
You know, they're like, well, what's the point of getting married? And it was just like hounds of questions, just negative. So it's like, I guess I didn't tell anybody else because I honestly, it's just too much. They don't need to know. It's really none of their business. And I don't need those negative, what's the point? What's this? What's that? And I don't really feel like going down that, that road. So the answer is I didn't really tell anybody except for one person. So, and my mom already knew. So.
And I told you guys a story about the discussion I had with her mom.
Yeah, she didn't agree with it either. And so, well, she still technically doesn't, but she
doesn't bring it up anymore, does she?
No, but she doesn't bring it up.
I would keep things this is her again. I would keep things mostly myself because bringing anything up, if it was negative in the slightest, the non-monogamy gets blamed. So not helpful. Okay, next question. Same person. Do you think it would have been helpful to have a woman-focused resource for non-monogamous relationships, or did you find something like a blog or a YouTube channel that was helpful in navigating your relationship?
Actually, that would have been awesome. If I had a blog or some resource, like at the beginning when he was telling me all this, and I could go and see like what other women are doing and how they're handling it, that would have been awesome. Because I was like,
start a business.
Yeah, because I was like,
start it. There's a niche right there.
Like this is different for me. Like, that would have been. I would say if someone can start a blog or do something, that would be great.
I wonder if that's what she's considering.
So
start a business.
Yeah,
location dependent too.
If you want to do it, you should do it because that would be helpful.
Women can start Alpha 2.0 businesses. So yeah, okay. What is the best part about being in your relationship with Caleb, and has that changed over time?
What's the best part?
What's the best part? Besides my really big cock. Besides that,
right?
I don't have a big cock.
The best
part.
Besides
the fact that I've ripped 6-pack abs and I'm really lean and handsome. Besides that, we all know I'm gorgeous. Besides that, besides my thick, luscious hair, besides the obvious.
Oh my gosh. The best part is just, I can trust him and, I feel safe with him. But trust is a big issue, like you got to trust your partner, and I totally trust him. That's especially in our circumstance. So the best part, there's a lot of things. Best part.
List all of them. I'll just sit here and listen. I'm just kidding.
Just how, he says he loves me and all that. I love when he does that, because I haven't been with somebody who's really like, looks me in the eyes and I love you and I'm glad, we're together and all of that. I've never been, to be honest, with anyone that has cared enough to even express how they feel. I like how he can express
yourself. You got to make it. Express
and I love traveling with him. It's fun. We try new restaurants and meet up with the sun at, and or whatever. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things. He makes me laugh. He sings a lot, makes me laugh.
Express yourself.
He thinks he's a singer.
Hey. Because if you want it right now.
Yeah, we just have fun. Yeah.
We do have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What is the most difficult aspect of being in your relationship, and has that changed over time?
What's difficult?
What's the most difficult aspect of the relationship? I know what that is.
Communication is one, because we're so different. It's really hard to communicate. And then his non-monogamy thing is challenging too at times. 'Cause that's just not an everyday thing for normal people, Not
I would say that's become more challenging in the last year because of our weird living situation. I think it was much less challenging before I went to Dubai. Agree or disagree? Matter of fact, I know that.
I mean, it is, but it's still challenging a lot of times,
Well, we're working on something. Although,
yeah, so I would say those two things, probably.
I agree. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to do this video. I relate so much to what you talk about. Your story about the Chicago concert. I loved hearing that. Remember that? In our last video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I have many similar stories of my own being along those lines, being with a man who knows who he is, how to make things happen, who doesn't let little things get to him, who knows how to be happy, totally worth it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's very nice of you.
Very nice.
All right.
We should have more women ask questions.
I'm surprised. Well, there might be other ones in here. I don't know. I mean, usually we get a few.
Yeah.
Since you and Caleb are living in the UAE, which allows the practice of, here we go. Here's another fun one. I can already tell. The practice of polygamy. How would you feel about him taking on another wife? You'll love this one. She could cook you falafels, clean up around the house, and basically be your servant.
Oh my God.
Caleb would have another woman that he could bang, and neither of you would have to worry about STDs. You could get her sterilized.
Oh my God.
You could get her sterilized to prevent pregnancy. No. There are a lot of desperate women in Afghanistan, Lebanon, and Yemen looking to get out who would love to live in Dubai and look at it as an amazing opportunity. All right. So what do you think about me having another
for
wife
one,
who bakes you falafels?
For one, I don't live in the UAE yet. I haven't moved there yet.
2 months, she will. 2 months.
But I haven't moved yet. I'm very nervous about it.
So what do you think about me having another wife?
As Caleb talked about in the past, he doesn't want another wife. He's not getting one.
No, how do you feel about it?
And I wouldn't marry somebody who had another wife. I mean, it's hard enough him sleeping with...
But she could make you falafels.
It's hard enough with him sleeping with other women. Nonetheless, have another wife. So that's not happening. And I would never live with another woman that's with him. That's terrible. So none of that. What's it called? The
polygamy.
We're not into that. That's not what's happening here. So you might need to make it clear to your audience.
I've made it clear many times.
Not what
they know this is an idiot. You're not an idiot. You're a very intelligent person. I'm sorry. Maybe you're not. I don't know.
Yeah, he's not.
They are very well aware. I don't want multiple wives. What he's thinking of is himself. He's like, well, if I was married to someone like Pink Firefly, I could get another wife and she could be the servant.
Someone like Pink Firefly, I wouldn't be with somebody who had another wife. So I don't know. Just saying.
Neither of us want a second wife. And you know what? If I wanted that, guess what? This is arrogant. It's true. I'd have that. Because you can pull that off. It's difficult. I've seen guys pull. You could. I would have.
I wouldn't be around though.
Right.
Wouldn't be me.
But I don't. Yeah, you wouldn't. But I wouldn't do it.
I don't get what the point is.
I get the point.
It sounds exhausting, and then your wife won't feel special anymore. You're off marrying somebody else. Like, what's the point?
And when you have multiple wives, nonstop drama. I've done a lot of research on polygamy. It's nonstop drama, arguing, fighting. How come it's her night when it wasn't my night last night? And it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare from hell. It's only for men who don't mind drama or like drama. All right, moving on. What do you think of Caleb's idea of having just one long-term FB on the side instead of being with multiple women? Would you prefer this to what he is doing now? What requirements would you have for this hypothetical woman?
Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about this lately, and it's become a thing because there's good and bad with it. So yeah, I prefer one girl, but then this one girl becomes close, and then they start this little relationship because they're close. And that's a problem because we don't want any relationships. It's just supposed to be like a fuck buddy and then moving on. So then there's good and bad. I don't, Yeah, because he becomes close with this girl and it kind of feels like girlfriend, boyfriend behavior. And that's not good either. So, yeah, I like the one girl thing, but there has to be
extra barriers that that I have to be aware of that I wouldn't necessarily need to be aware of with the current scenario. Does that make sense?
Right.
We've
exactly.
talked about this a lot.
There can't be a girlfriend boyfriend type of relationship, even though you become close with her. It's just not acceptable if you have a wife. Just,
The trick is that I've never done this. I've done everything else, so I'm good at everything else, but I've never done this, and she's never done this. We even talked to the counselor about this. The counselor's never seen this. Not me personally, so she's kind of like, "Argh."
But she agreed. She said, this kind of
may
hard.
not work.
She said, I don't know that that's going to work because you're going to form a relationship with that girl. And you can't have that. So,
or you may view it as a relationship that it isn't because of the frequency, because there's only one other person. Maybe.
No, it's already happened. So
right.
That's
right.
what
we've already had some stumbling blocks on this. We've already
steering clear of that.
Yeah, we've already learned a lot. Right. So you like the idea, but you're not 100% on it yet because of the downsides.
Right.
The general answer?
Right.
Okay. A lot of men aren't good at showing, let alone handling their emotions, particularly around women. As a result, many women complain their boyfriend/husband is emotionally closed off, or they never wants to talk about his feelings around her. As a woman who is married to a guy like Caleb Jones, what has been your experience with how Caleb shows, let alone handles his emotions in regards to you? Interesting. In other words, has he ever confided in you negative feelings such as doubts, insecurities, and that kind of thing?
Yeah, so what's different about Caleb is that he actually will express his feelings.
Express yours.
I mean, he's not like off crying somewhere or anything like that, but he's just like,
I've done that a long time.
Like he'll say, I love you and I'm glad you're in my life. Or he'll say, we need to work on this. This needs to be addressed, like that kind of thing. He's kind of blunt, but you're expressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not as much as like I would like generally, but you're a man. So that's just, but yeah, he's definitely more expressive than anybody I've been with. So
if you are in a relationship like this, you're asking a lot of your special lady. So you got to be really nice, really caring, really loving, express yourself. Hey, you got to, you got to tell them, you got to tell them the typical husband or boyfriend.
You got to tell them you love them. Don't forget to say that because that's important. We need to hear it.
I tell her that every day, right? I think it's pretty much almost every day. I tell you that a lot. Yeah. Have I ever confided you doubts, feelings? So he's not really, I think he's also talking about negative stuff like my fears and shit. Do I confide in you fears, doubts, insecurities, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
I do?
Yeah, he'll say.
Oh, I do? Oh, I guess I have. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about this. We need to nip this in the bud now. We need to talk with the counselor.
Oh.
Yeah, he literally, if he doesn't tell me, he tells the counselor so that we could all work on it. Trust me.
She hates that. When I bring something up at the counseling, she didn't know it was coming.
I was like, what's the problem?
She hates that shit. I figured that like a year ago. So now I warn her. I say, okay, when we're going to talk about this. As you know.
So, yeah. So if he's like something bothering him, not always, but he'll address it with the counselor so we can all figure it out. Sometimes he just stews on it and does nothing about it. That part's not good. But he kind of pretends like it didn't happen and he kind of holds on to it for a long time and then it maybe addresses it a long time down the road.
What are you talking about?
But he definitely, he'll still, even if it's negative, he'll sometimes go to the counselor and we can all work together on it.
If you and Caleb were to break up, don't scare her. And it says in parentheses, hopefully not. Would your preference be to pursue another open marriage / open relationship, or would you pursue a traditional monogamous relationship or marriage? That's an easy one. I know. Yeah. Well,
we're not breaking up.
Yeah. Shut up.
We're together forever.
You big dork.
I would do monogamous.
And get cheated on. So anyway, moving on. Just kidding.
He loves my answers.
Yeah, sorry. Last one. You ready? It's the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. Has it been exhausting for you?
No.
Okay, good. You want to go drink some wine later?
Sure.
All right. Hi, PF. Thanks for doing these videos with Caleb. It's very helpful to have your perspective. I believe Caleb mentioned once you were trying to do an online jewelry business. If that is correct, how is that business going?
Yeah, I tried that for a short time. Yeah, I ended up wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't really. I thought I would like it, and I just didn't. Sometimes you gotta try something, and you realize, not what I thought it would be. So,
if I recall, it was because you were not really rock solid on the marketing, but also took a lot of time to go to all those sales around town to find the jewelry.
Right.
So what she was doing, you want to tell them what you were doing? Because it was a good idea.
I was selling vintage jewelry. So I was going to estate sales and trying to find some awesome things. But you wait in these lines at these places for
that drove you crazy.
Yeah, and you'd and then they'd only let certain people in, and by the time you get in, then everything's picked over after you'd been waiting forever. It was just a whole thing. So you practically have to stay the night, sleep there, at the front entrance.
But you did find some good deals, and you did.
There's
make money.
some, yeah.
And she made money. You made money.
COVID was when I made the most because people were at home shopping.
Right. That's right.
Right. So, but I moved on from that. But it's a good experience. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, that's it. Do you have any parting words for the guys?
Probably not. Well, thanks for listening, and thanks for many good questions. And
don't expect her to be back anytime soon. These are difficult for her. These are not things she likes to do. So you should be very thankful she's doing this. That's why you need to be nice in the comments, because she doesn't have to do this. So thank you for doing this. And on behalf of them, thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
And again, how many other people do you know anywhere in the world, anywhere on the internet, who have an audience of any actual size who actually is telling you about this stuff? Name 5. Name 1 besides me and her.
And you might not, a lot of you won't agree with my perspective, but I'm still sharing it. So it's fine if you don't agree, but you asked and I'm just telling you my side. So
if any of you have any ideas for how you would like to see her integrated into my content, no promises. She's not going to be around a lot. But if you have any specific ideas on what you would like to see from her, if you like this format, or if there's a different format you'd like, or if you want her to do something else, certainly let me know and I'll run it past her, because sometimes you guys have really good ideas. Let me know. Yeah, cool. All right. That's it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See you later.